We take away from the all. Nah, the shit got my. Oh, that. There we go. Oh, it may be. Yeah.
Stop playing. Big Draco, big love.
Yeah.
It's all 2021.
Yeah. That's what's up. We just out here enjoying life. Yeah, love.
2021, love.
2021. Bob checking it. Who else is in the house? Yeah. Nah, we just going around the room. They know who it is. Do a wardrobe change. When I do a wardrobe change, yeah. Turn up. Hey, yo, and we stronger together. We can't do it if we ain't together.
No question.
Fuck that.
No question.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
I got a single coming out. Well, I want to put a single out that I'm like very, very excited about. I've been off the music scene for a little while. I feel like I've been off the music scene for a little while, and partially for reasons like this. So I've been off the music scene for a little bit now. I'm excited to kind of come back and give this single. I'm excited about this song. I feel like it fits the times. I feel like it's encouraging and inspiring and uplifting, and I want to not make y'all, but help y'all dance a little bit through this pandemic. Bring a little joy in your homes, bring a little dance, and an encouraging word. That was the purpose of it. I used whatever resources I had. I don't got my band here. I don't got my singers here. So I just, the sound is what it is. It's kind of like work it out type thing. But I just got off the call with a business call. And it's like, I'm not selling out, y'all. I'm sorry. It's like, yo, your song is hot. Da, 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 da. If you do this, we can get you. I was like, yo, man. I was like, nah. I literally just hung up on the call. I literally like, hey, y'all, I can't do this right now. I know it's really all about the money. And I ain't selling out like that, yo. So I'm out. What I mean all about the money is, like, if you got money, you can get certain platforms. Period. If not, you got to do certain things to get that platform and make certain compromises. I don't got the money other people got. Well, let's just say I'm not willing to use the money I got for that. That's what I mean by I'm not selling out. I ain't doing that.
But you're saying that, I know exactly where you're coming from, but the audience may not.
Okay.
Go a little
let me explain what I mean. If you deal with a Fortune 500 corporation, right, and they do something to you, and you sue that corporation, right, you sue the corporation itself, not the person who did it. Okay, that corporation pays taxes. It acts as a person. Legally, that corporation is a person, but it's not a person. You understand what I'm saying? There are men that run these corporations, that hide behind these corporations for their vested interests. Okay? And they're not, too many times we use these words, Illuminati, Mace, whatever you want to call it, right? These people have real names. I grew up in Delaware. I know DuPonts, right? There's real people whose families historically have locked down America. Okay? They're not about to give up that power anytime soon. Okay? If you are of the Rothschild lineage, you're going to do everything that you can do to maintain your grip on the world. The same way that if me and this brother built a company from scratch and now my kids run it, I'm not letting somebody else come in and deal with this company. What does that tell you? Don't deal with the company. Period. Start your own company. This is the perfect time for musical independence. The perfect time. This brother said a great statement that you can make a living selling 5,000 units. If I make a CD and I sell 5,000 units, that's $50,000 in my pocket. That's a salary. You understand what I'm saying? And I own my masters. The problem is that you signed the contract. When you get into the situation in the first place, you asked to become a slave. You asked for it. You went and chased down whoever you could chase down that was a representative of that label and asked them, please make me a slave. Do you understand what that is? So, okay, now as a progressive person, somebody that has a mind that sits in these meetings and hears nonsense all day, and when I'm sitting in front of L.A. Reid and I raise my hand and I'm like, that's nonsense, they tell me that that's going to sell. That's the whole response. The company doesn't care, righteous, unrighteous, they care about money. Period, point blank. If you look back at hip-hop in 1989, righteous was selling, so they was down with righteous. You understand? Now nonsense is selling, so they down with nonsense. It's about green and about power and control. And they really, really, really see the end coming. The end is coming. 10 years from now, these record labels will not be here in the capacity that they are now.
All right, peace, y'all. Peace. This video today is going to break down the influence that the media has over the general public by using hip-hop. For some reason, I don't know, but it's not that effective in other genres of music. As far as maybe heavy metal, maybe. But I want to base this on one topic, on how effective it is to the black community, okay, and how we've actually influenced our culture upon a lot of other races as well. But here's the thing, how the media plays this game, and I'm going to break it down on the deception, okay, the deception of hip hop, all right, and the Go Dummy movement. So now I had a viewer said to me, he sent me a comment. He left a comment and said, "Do a video about the government involvement with big institutions and media control." Okay, and that's all going to play a part into this video that I'm doing right here. Then also I want to talk about 360 deals. Somebody else asked me about 360 deals, and I'm gonna break it down. I mean, you know, it's kind of, to be honest with you, the 360 deal is definitely self-explanatory. But I mean, some people don't know what it is, so I'll break it down as best as I could. All right, so we all know hip-hop started in the 80s. Some may say it started earlier than that, but to know, it says the 80s. Started in the 80s. I don't know which year to be exact, but Sugar Hill Gang and so on and so forth. So when music first came out, well, not music, excuse me, when hip-hop first came out, it was on a process of being happy, you know, partying, having a good time, you know, taking your mind away from the stress, you know what I'm saying? Hip-hop had that had that influence on the black community. That was our way out, okay? We looked at hip-hop as a way out, as a tool to, get your message heard. There was no more, people no longer wanted to write books anymore or be authors. They actually wanted to rap, okay? So hip-hop had a big influence on the African-American community around the 80s, all right? Oh, well, and still to this day now, let's be honest here. But it has an influence on us in a negative way as well, all right? And this is what the media knows, and they play this game, all right? You got to play the game. And, these artists know exactly what they're doing when they're doing it. So hip-hop is all fun and laughing and freestyling and having a good time out in the park, barbecuing, dancing, And then it turns to a point of flaunt. You know what I'm saying? Like now the rappers are flaunting now. And I wanna break that down as well, like how rap has always been about flaunting. Okay? It's always been about flaunting. And I'm gonna break this down. Now, when Big Daddy Kane and Rakim and all of these guys, Cool G Rap and all these guys came out, LL Cool J, Run DMC, their whole image was a flashy lifestyle, okay? They had to project this image that they had more than the actual viewer that was looking at them, okay? This is to gain your confidence and your trust to allow yourself to look up to them, okay? So when the media picks these people, all right, and puts them on TV, MTV, BET, VH1, whatever, and says, this is the new best thing, okay? And whatever this person says, you should listen to them and follow them, okay? They've made them a staple for the black community. So these artists that came out, Big Daddy Kane and all of these dudes, that lifestyle of having more than the average citizen was projected to the mass media, okay, and placed on television to influence the youth at this time, okay. The people out in the street, drug dealers at that time, they wore the gold chains and drove the nice cars. To be honest with you, I believe drug dealers were making more money than rappers at that time. All right. But that's neither here nor there. So it took a turn to when it turned flashy. Now, some of you may not understand why this is important because, like I said, they have control over the mind. So whatever this person is telling you through this song or in this video, you'll do your best to mimic it or say, damn, I want to live like that. They know that these entertainers have that control over the youth and over people that are lesser than them, that have less than them, okay? So this is why these things like chains are presented to you, because it's a shiny object. People like this, a glitz and glamour, all right, as they call it. All right, so that once that was into place, people that were normal citizens felt like they needed to live like this. They wanted to live like the drug dealers on the corner, and they saw the rappers and wanted to be like the rappers. So around this time, late 80s, the youth was looking up to these rappers and drug dealers. These were our role models around this time, rappers and drug dealers, okay? This is all we had. We didn't have any positive people in our community, in the black community, I should say, whatever you want to call it. It's a shame, and I want to talk about this too. It's a shame that black people don't even know what to call themselves now. We don't know if we're indigenous, African American, black. I don't want to go into that because that ain't what I'm gonna do. But I know who the hell I am. So once we got to this point where we were looking up to rappers and drug dealers as our role models, the media knew that they had total control over the community. All right, they seen that the money that rappers were making and the money that drug dealers were making from putting drugs and music in our neighborhoods, in our community. All right, so then things took quite of a bit of a spin. I think this was the test. To be honest with you, I think, my personal opinion, I think this was the media's test to see how much of an influence hip hop had over us at this time. This is when the Rodney King riot, the Rodney King incident transpired, and the song "F the Police" was released by NWA. Now, when they came out, this made rap actually make a shift, okay, to a negative aspect. Okay, so if you pay attention here, people were rioting and doing all kind of things because they said this song made them feel like that. You know what I'm saying? This song made them want to rebel against the government. All right. I guess this is when these corporations realized that they had a monster on their hand, and they said, well, listen, the only way that we can actually control this thing is if we sign these guys and make them, put out certain messages to their people. Okay, it's simple. Give them a certain amount of money and have them turn on their own people. Okay, so some of you may call it field niggas, and then you have house niggas. So the rapper is actually the house nigga. Okay. If you think about it in that aspect, they're the people's favorite. They're the people's favorite. They're embraced. Come on into this industry and we'll make you a star. We're gonna give you all of these things, all of these women. You want drugs and all of this, okay? So, once they realized that this thing was a monster, all right, I believe that this is when hip hop was. This is when I'm going to say that these labels started taking that thought process into consideration and signing artists like Kid and Play, all right, Tribe Called Quest, Queen Latifah, Moni Love, Native Tongues, De La Soul. These are groups that were bringing about peace. They wanted to bring peace and happiness and get along. Okay, everybody, we all just get along, as Rodney King would say, right? This is to slow down the violence. All right, slow it down. Now, some of you may not understand this and think that, well, you had rappers like Wu-Tang, and though they came out later on, okay, and to change this narrative, right, was the fact. The fact was to make sure that they had total control over this. Okay, so now it's like this. If you know a cheat code to win at the casino, right? You're gonna use that cheat code as much as you can. All right? You're gonna use that cheat code any way possible. So this is how the industry viewed it. They viewed that they had a control over a total mass, right? Nationality or ethnicity with music. Because why? It goes back to the beginning. Black people are connected to the drum. So if it has a good beat to it and it sounds good, they won't pay attention to the message. Okay? For years, as a young man, I didn't know what Biggie was talking about on any of his songs. I just liked Biggie's songs. I didn't know what Tupac was talking about. I just liked his songs. It didn't hit me what they were talking about until later on in my adulthood. Okay? So this is why it plays with your subconscious, and the media knows this. All right? So you have Native Tongues come out, Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, all of these dudes and all of this peace shit. right? But then, I guess the media realized that they had control over us and decided that we needed to be contained. Okay, we needed to be enslaved, as they would say. I'll be honest with you. Artists like Biggie Smalls were promoted. Where he's talking about robbing pregnant women, putting guns to pregnant women's stomach, in the song "Give Me the Loot." All right, Everyday Struggle. I don't want to live no more. Sometimes I hear death knocking at my front door. Suicidal thoughts. When I die, I want to go to hell because I'm a piece of shit. It ain't hard to tell. These things were pushed upon the African American culture. Okay, and mind you, black people, and I'll be honest with you. This is how I know that the media Biggie Smalls was controlled by the media, because everyone knows that black people, we go through stuff, but we don't really have thoughts where we want to kill ourselves. And if we do, we don't really go through with that. That's not our thing. Okay, suicide is not really our thing. I mean, there's people out there that have been victims of suicide, but to be quite honest with you, that's really not our thing. Okay, so respectfully, I don't want to step on that topic because that's a very sensitive topic, and people are really going through those things. But for Biggie to be projecting this message to his people that he grew up with, he was controlled, all right, by the media and the masses. Puppy was actually the handler behind all of this, okay, that made Biggie write these songs. If you listen to Biggie's demo tapes, he was just showcasing his skills. He wasn't really making topics on being ready to die and suicidal thoughts and these things that are against our people, to be honest with you. But he projected that, selling drugs to pregnant women and things of that nature. This is how they knew they had control over us, okay? Because people were actually going out in the street selling crack to pregnant women just because Biggie said it, okay? And I know a few people that did that, and it's it's ridiculous, man. You had people like Tupac, Mobb Deep, all of these individuals pushed the jail agenda, okay, on the youth at the time. So they made it cool. Mobb Deep had a song on their first album, Up North Trip, okay, where they referenced being locked up, the first time they experienced being locked up. Now, as you know, like I said in my video about Prodigy was never in trouble. So how would he know what it's like to be locked up north? Okay, these people are faking the funk to sell you this because they're getting paid. The media, the music industry is one big commercial. Okay, so you have to look at it like that. Whatever the media tells them to project to you, the viewer, they're going to do it, okay? Because these major corporations, such as the Drug Administration and so on and so forth, they're funding these record labels, all right? They're giving these record labels money to promote this crap to your children, all right? This is how they are going to bring in new agendas. So now, when you have rappers like Mobb Deep and Tupac talking about being locked up and going to jail, and and everything is cool, it's about selling drugs and being violent. Okay, from the '90s on up, this took a gangster rap really actually took over hip hop. Okay, it became its own genre at one point in time. Okay, they considered gangster rap the most sold genre in America, okay? Worldwide, let's be honest, worldwide. So they continued on with it. All right? And this is when mass incarceration started happening, if you pay attention. I don't know if some of y'all are in New York or not, but Giuliani was actually the first asshole to bring in these things, okay? The mass incarceration of black men, and along with Bill Clinton as well. All right, so this is what it projected to do. This is how things work. I mean, Bill Clinton was allowing people to get locked up for a nickel bag of weed. You know what I'm saying? These people knew what they were doing, and these higher up corporations above on this ladder that we can't see. You know, when people say, who are they? You know, these are the individuals that we can't see. Okay, so when I say don't get mad at the artist, you know, you're thinking too small. Get mad at the corporation, the people behind the scenes that you never hear of are actually controlling this, and they live next door to you. They live in the next town over, and they have a nice house and a nice car, but you wouldn't know these people work in the music industry. Okay, you wouldn't know that they're controlling the music industry. All right, they're sitting home minding their business. Meanwhile, your son is going out there robbing people because he's funding this company. All right, they don't care. All right, this is how America is built on bloodshed, and this is how they feel. All right, so now we're at this point where hip hop has been emasculated. All right, and they want the individuals to be as dumb as possible. Okay, every time you turn around, the term "go dumb" or "go stupid" is projected to you. Okay, because this is what they want the children to. They want the children to be as dumb as possible. Now, we've all seen images of children with the Twilight Zone duality in their eyes. Okay, we've all seen this. This is to keep your child's mind enslaved. All right, to keep your child's mind enslaved. All right. The dumber the children are, the easier it is for them to push an agenda, and changes can be made. So, like I said, 10 years from now or 200 years from now, when you know the people that are racist, the people that are against these agendas, okay, we will no longer exist. We won't. If we're against these things, we will no longer exist. There will be a new world, a new population of individuals that are going to get along with the things that are projected to them. Okay, it's all a plan. Okay, this is a plan, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing, that you or I can do about this. Okay, the minute you try to change anything, you will be taken out of here. It's happened numerous times of individuals. All right, white or black, it doesn't matter the race or color. Fast forward, man. Now, some of y'all may say, Jay, I don't think that hip hop has an influence on us like that, man. Let's take skinny jeans for an example, right? 2006, 2000s, the early 2000s, I'll say, you know, the style of men were baggy clothes, okay, baggy jeans. All right, you know, you dressed presentable. You dressed how you dressed. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z took a turn and even threw in the button-ups. You know what I'm saying? He get your grown man on. All right. 2007, Jim Jones introduced the skinny jeans. He was the first rapper to introduce the skinny jeans era. All right. So when you see these rappers now wearing skinny jeans, you like, man, where did this come from? How did it get there? Jim Jones was actually the first rapper to wear fitted slim jeans, the Affliction jeans at that time. And people were like, what the heck is this? He's wearing tight pants. What is this? All right. And then Lil Wayne did it. But then fast forward to 2009, all right, when the jerk era came in, you know, and Little B and all of these guys, they were doing they had the Vans on and the skinny pants. Okay, this was a tactic by the media, because the whole plan, right, from beginning of time, was to emasculate you. Once they figured out that hip-hop had a total control over us, they knew that they could do pretty much anything. Okay? They could do anything that they wanted us to do through music. It just couldn't be force-fed. We had to be spoon-fed this information, okay? So now you see your favorite rappers today wearing jeans to them it's the price, all right. It cost me $1,500 for these jeans, right? But they're skinny though, all right. So forget about it being skinny. These jeans cost me $1,500. Some of your most machoist, most male dominant rappers in the industry are wearing skinny jeans now, all right. So it's beyond me, man. You know, they make it to the point, they're gonna make it to the point where eventually you'll have no choice, okay, but to dress like this. Alright? So it does have an influence on us, man. And you know, these things are detrimental to the youth. Alright? So now when they saying go dumb, go stupid, you know, like I mentioned in the Megan Thee Stallion video, like, you know, the crash dummy suit is basically referencing to keep your child's mind enslaved and keep them dumb. Okay, the less they know, the better. Okay, if they don't know much of what's going on around them, anything can happen. Okay, anything can happen, and we are allowing the youth to listen to these things and, you know, keep them enslaved. You know, it's like this. If I give you the poison, right, and tell you to give this poison to your child, how about this? If I give you the poison, right, and tell you, hey, it's not poison, just give it to your kid, and you give it to your kid because you're taking this person's word for it, that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. They don't need to do any damage to you. You're doing it to your own child. Okay? You get in the car and you turn the radio on, blast it loud so the kids can hear it. Every word, every sound. Okay? The song, the kids in the back seat singing and dancing to the words of the song, saying exactly what the person is saying on the song. So you mean to tell me that this doesn't have an influence on our kids? All right, so pay attention to this, man. Pay attention to this. So when you see these rappers promoting stupidity and being dumb and demon time, just know that this is where our future is heading, okay? It's heading towards stupidity, all right? It's heading towards, they want to push more technology and less common sense. They want the technology to think for your child, so that way they can control them more. If everything in your house is smart TV, smartphone, smart toaster, smart microwave, smart refrigerator, if everything in your house is smart, what does that make you? Dumb. This is their whole objective. All right, so it's to keep the following generations dumb. And like I said, when the ones that want to rebel, eventually we'll no longer be here. Also, I want to talk about the 360 deal. All right, the 360 deal is, like I said, it's self-explanatory. But it's projected. It's a new standard record deal that came into play about 2006, 2007, to enslave the artist more. Okay, it literally takes, I would say, 75% of your earnings in whatever you make, okay, because they own your name. So if you're associated, if you sign a 360 deal and a Nike sponsorship comes and says, hey, we want you to be in our next commercial, you have to give a percentage of that to your record label. I don't know the percentage or how much they want, but they ask for a majority of their money that they gave you. Okay, so it's like people say, it's it's a trap. All right, these deals, and let's be honest here. I'm not into the gematria or anything or numerology, but let's pay attention to the numbers here. 360, okay, which can represent 3 6s. All right, you got 3-6 Mafia, you got 36 Chambers. All right. The 3-6 is a definement of Satanic. All right, 3-6 Mafia already broke this down in the interview with Vlad or whatever, country black, whatever. He did an interview with Vlad, and he talked about this. You know what I'm saying? This is reality, man. So when you signing these deals, you're basically signing a slave contract. Now, what you guys got to understand, and I put a post in my community tab the other day about people selling their souls to a gaming development company, right? And they said it was an April Fool's joke, right? It was an April Fool's joke or what have you, and they were just playing with people, okay? But to be honest with you, that's not even a joking matter in my point of view. That's not a joking matter. But here's the thing: what I want to get to, really quick, it's the fact that people don't actually pay attention to what they're signing and what they're agreeing to. So when you get a 360 deal in front of you and you see the word taking terms, this is definement of you giving permission for this company to own your soul, okay? A lot of people don't read these things. They don't read these contracts and understand that, hey, man, you know, that's a whole bunch. When they talking about selling their soul, they talking about something else, man. Okay, when most record companies, when you sign to a label, they make you sign with the red pen. So if you see any artists out there signing in a car, trying to persuade you, like, yeah, look at me, I'm signed now, you know, because that's basically selling you hope. They doing the same thing the preacher's doing, because in hopes that one day I could sign with MMG. One day I could sign with Yo Gotti. So when you see these artists signing with these black pens or blue pens, that's false. Okay, all business is always done in the office. Okay, always remember that when you're signing to a major label, it's always done in an office. All right. So signing to good music and you're meeting Kanye at McDonald's and he tells you, hey, sign this contract. That's irrelevant. I'm talking about these major corporations that control these individuals. They make you sign your deal in a red pen, which represents your blood. Okay, so take that into consideration. All right. We always have to remember that they're not on our side. Okay, the media, these corporations, they're not on our side, and they hire these artists, okay, as puppets for you, the viewer, to embrace them as if they're being your leader or truthful, okay? And you know, when someone is placed in front of you on a platform, you know, you take that person into consideration. Now, so the 360 deals are definitely a part of the devil's plan, and you know, if you can look up to it and why it's named 360, basically they want to make finances all across the board. This deal came into play because the record sales around early 2000s were decreasing due to software programs such as LimeWire, Napster, and Kazaa, and other things of that nature. So the record business was deflating. Okay, they came up with a new style of deal to make more money off of the artists. Okay, so the whole object of a 360 deal is to make more money off of the artist to recoup. Okay, so if they give you $1.5 million, better believe that they want $1 million in return, and you keep the 500,000. Okay, that's basically a 360 deal in layman's terms. Okay, it's basically a way to keep you more enslaved and entrapped. All right. These deals usually are lifetime deals. You know, I mean, unless you renegotiate. Some people don't know that they can renegotiate after the second album. When you sold a certain amount of records, you can renegotiate. It's just like refinancing a car. Same process. But the 360 deals are definitely, you know, a part of the devil's plan. And when you sign up for this, you guys have to read these contracts, man, because it's always in small fine print, the manipulation tactics that are in there, and most people don't read this. Okay, so if you sign a deal next week, you know, make sure you go over this and with your lawyer and say, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? I don't care if it takes you 2 days. Find out what everything means in that contract. All right. I want to drop some jewels on y'all too, man. And a lot of people, you know, this bothers me a lot too, man. I'm gonna end the video here. A lot of y'all in the comments say, man, yo, I wanted to do music, but you know, watching your videos, I don't want to do it anymore, man. Here's my advice to y'all, man. Don't give up on your dreams. I don't care what nobody say. Don't give up on your dreams, man. Always pursue and keep going. When you get in this business, if you want to still be in the music business, by all means, go ahead and do it, right? But just know what you're willing and what you're not willing to do. Know the difference, okay? Open your eyes and your mind and pay attention to the things that's going on around you. Okay, if something doesn't feel right, then don't go forward with it, all right? So if you want to make music and you want to be famous and you want to be a star, go ahead. But make sure that what you're doing is the right thing, okay? Because if you're doing the wrong thing, you're watching the wrong video, okay? If your plans are to destroy the world and, you know, continue this hermetic thought process, you know what I'm saying? By all means, go ahead, all right? But you know, I want to instill in some of y'all, man, that, you know, if music is your passion, by all means, go forward with it. But I know a lot of y'all think that y'all need these labels because they're the machine. They're going to put the chain around your neck. They're going to put the car in your driveway. They're going to put your mom's in a nice big house. They're going to put you on TV and all this stuff. But do the work yourself and make them come to you. All right? Do the work yourself. Don't always be so quick to ask for a handout. Because when you ask for a handout, you always have to give something in return. Okay? Remember that. So if you're out there begging for a record deal and you're all in people's comments, listen to my music, you're begging, you're showing up at people's shows and popping up on them, always remember this. Always remember this. What you're begging for does not come for free. All right? It does not come for free. All right, y'all. So I thank y'all, you know what I'm saying, for watching this video, like, sharing, comment, subscribing, and all of that. Also, I want to give a shout out to Honeybee. Thank you, sweetheart, for the Cash App. That was greatly appreciated. And also, Tanya Montague. Thank you also for the Cash App. That was greatly appreciated. All right. So leave your comments below on what topics y'all think I should talk about next. My next video, I'm gonna break down. Yeah, I'm not gonna give it away because I don't want nobody to get on the source. But yeah, man. Hope everybody stays blessed, man. And hold your head, man. Peace.